Hey everybody, I'm Symes, and with me as usual is Robin.
Hello there, I'm Robin, and that was Symes, and that is a spaceship.
That is our moon base, in orbit around the moon, in preparation for descent to the surface of the moon, and moon base things.
Yep, in stages.
Yes, so, 3 stages, as we've previously discussed, and this episode will be bringing all of this stuff down to the surface, and connecting it all together into a moon base facility, which will be very
glorious precision. All the Kerbals look quite distressed at the thought of this.
Yeah, they do seem to be panicking a bit.
Full of horror.
Right now they're in a...
What is that big grey thing?
It's like, oh no, it's the moon.
It's a moon.
It's so huge.
Deal with it.
It looked so small from Kerbin. It's massive. What are we going to do? Ah!
They do look exceedingly distressed.
I was terrified, actually. I hadn't noticed that before. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm sure they have nothing to be worried about.
It doesn't matter how they think. One of them's going to get kicked out now. Like, right, you think you're scared now? You get to go outside. Ha ha.
Yeah, get out there.
Because again,
go out to the tug, is he?
Yeah, he's going out to the tug. Just because I realised from when I was testing this colony lifter thing that I left some stuff on it that it doesn't really need, and that I might as well bolt onto the tug. So why not?
All right.
There's a couple of radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which are those finned things.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
So he's just ripped it off the
just yanked
side
it off
of
the
that
outside
ship.
of the ship, and he's going to slap it on the side of the tug. And that's just electricity generation without the need of the sun. And each one of those generates about the same as one of those small square solar panels, so it's not a huge amount of power, but it's kind of enough just to keep everything running.
Yeah, just in case, we land in the dark or something.
Yeah. So
hasn't known.
So he's grabbing that one from there as well. So there'll be 2 of those on the tug. And just plonk that onto the side. Plonk. Done.
So basically just adding spoilers, go faster stripes.
Just keep on adding more stuff onto the tug that we hadn't put on it before, because either we didn't have it or we forgot to.
Yeah, pimp my tug.
Need to put some neons on it. Or
that was a good landing there. He didn't bounce at all.
No, he was alright.
Yeah. The Kerbins are now going completely mental.
You can tell that I've just actually turned on speeding up this video. Now they're going crazy. So now we're into sort of slight time acceleration, and I'm picking a landing site. We're going to land it basically next to the moon miner, and I decide to land it a little bit to the east. 2 minutes to the east.
What's that in clicks?
I don't know. We know that
being all technical here.
We know that 5 seconds is really too close because of how I landed that miner on top of the other ship the other time.
Yeah, there was almost a bouncing.
So I thought, well, 2 minutes probably isn't very far away either, but probably enough to avoid any collisions.
Yeah.
So it's it is still very much kind of lick finger hold up in the air. Yeah, that's probably fine.
That's how we do our science.
But that's pogoing nicely there. But yeah, we're using the landing autopilot for this. Because as I said the last time, the chances of me landing 3 ships within 100 miles of each other are pretty remote, let alone within a few hundred yards. So
yeah.
So the autopilot does the job.
Yeah. Mr. Armstrong, you ain't.
No.
Oh, I've seen the video of him landing that a couple of times, and it's just they get down to seconds. It's amazing. So, yeah, he's just completely calm through it as well.
Well, I suppose that's the difference between being NASA trained and being me. It's I would be incredibly tense if I had to land a spacecraft on the moon, mainly because I have no idea how to do it. It's what are all these levers for? Why am I here?
What's that button do?
That button? Where are the actual
Which
astronauts?
is sort of what the expression the Kerbins are still
the Kerbals
going over that. Why are we here?
What's going on?
What was all that training about? I've forgotten it all.
They seem a bit happier now, though. They're not quite as terrified as before, which is weird, because this is arguably a much more dangerous thing that they're doing than just sitting in orbit.
Yeah. Well, one of the ratings for the astronauts isn't that stupidity.
Yeah, stupidity. Courage and stupidity are the two
attributes.
The 2 attributes that they have. So I don't think they're very courageous, but probably quite dumb. Yeah, they're looking a bit worried again now that we're in like a deceleration burn.
Yep, 7k up.
Looking down, going, actually that surface is coming up quite fast.
I wonder if it will be friends with me.
So there's the mining site that we're heading towards.
Oh, looking good so far.
Down below.
Yep.
And we are.
Oh, it says it's 1.5k away and we're 3k up. That's a bit weird.
Well, yeah, that's altitude
it,
above sea level though. It's not altitude above terrain. Terrain altitude is on the right. It's like 700 meters at the moment.
Ah.
So, I mean, sea level. There's no sea on the moon, but you know what I mean.
No.
What sea level would be if there was
Even
a
though
sea
it's like
there.
the old Sea of Tranquility.
True.
Oh, well, maybe not on this one.
No, I don't know what the bits of the moon are called. They're just called like the northwest crater and stuff.
Yeah, 20 meters odd meters.
Yeah.
It's going to go for a suicide burn, isn't it?
Final descent. Yep, and then there'll be a massive slowdown right at the
Yeah.
end.
About 80 meters.
And we're coming in, and the target touchdown speed is 0.5 meters a second, so we're going to come in very gently. There we
That's
go.
a nice landing.
And got the engines, and we landed.
Lovely.
Magic.
Yeah.
So now we're going
All
to
smoke and mirrors.
start detaching these modules and driving them to where, more or less to where they're going to be. And this
Alright,
is,
so they just drop off and
Yeah,
wheel off them.
they're all attached by docking ports, so they'll just disconnect and
Okay.
trundle off. So you just undock them from here, decouple, that one drops,
They plummet.
and then we switch to it at some point. Right, now I'm in control of this thing, and this is very accelerated in time.
Very accelerated.
Yeah, because it took a long time to do this, because I was trying very hard not to have them fall over.
Yeah, they are.
They're
It
kinda-
is looking a bit wobbly.
And then I went, right, I'm just going to park this one right here, because I'm not driving all the way over there and have it fall over.
Yeah.
So, and then here's another one. This is the...
That was a bit of a lurch there where it started off. Ooh!
There's a few
You
wheelie
need some
moments.
kind of Weeble technology on these.
So anyway, the first one we put out there, that was the command and control. This is the PDU, the power distribution unit, which is a nuclear reactor.
Okay.
Park that there.
Just park on nuclear.
Is that the PDU or is this the PDU? I think actually this one might be the PDU.
Can we name
Whoop.
them?
Yeah, yes.
Whoa!
Yeah, this one's a PDU. It's got fins on it. The two ones that we put out first, yeah, it's got big black fins on the middle. That's the PDU. So the other one is manufacturing or refining, and actually this is the control. So now I've got that entirely wrong. The refinery and the manufacturing thing went out first, and then the PDU, then the command and control. This is the command and control here.
Assuming we don't get meteors or anything pounding them in.
Yes, not by stock, no.
Right.
So I take a little bit of time just to try and more or less line them up with each other, and then park them. And then we get a Kerbal out to pull the wheels off, because we don't need the
He
wheels
just
anymore.
looked like he ran him over there.
And then the wheels
Ooh,
explode.
what was that?
The wheels explode for no apparent reason.
Oh.
So that's good. Again, vastly sped up. So all the wheels are off now, so this one's sat on its little base.
Excellent.
And it's
Nothing
got
else exploded.
It's got a container in the bottom as well that you can put Kerbal attachment system stuff in. So
Ooh, it fell over there.
yeah, so that will come into play shortly once I've yanked all the wheels off this section.
You
of
have a
the
very
base.
important job. You need to yank wheels.
Yank wheels. Well, once he's done pulling all the wheels off, he then has to link all of these bases together. So
Yeah. Yeah, quite a way away.
yeah, well, they're not super far away, but again, the difficulty I had with driving them around and having them not fall over, and how long it took, is just like, no, I'm just going to line them up as close as it seems reasonable and park them, and that'll do.
Yeah.
Because, and then the
Whoa,
wheels explode.
There goes another wheel.
It's incredible.
It's
exploding
dangerous things.
wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm disconnecting the kind of
Boom.
struts that the wheels are attached to, and then the wheels just fall off.
Yeah. We're just going to boom. We're
Boom.
just leaving them there forever then.
No, they're they're just debris, so I actually delete them later on. But
Okay.
now we've got these flexo tubes, which are which were stored inside the module base, and those are what we're going to use to actually connect them together.
Ah.
So just think like that.
It's like some kind of sci-fi tunnel.
It's amazing. there's multiple different types of connector, but this is the easiest one to just sort of do because you can just, as rather than having to line things up exactly and have them connect together, you just sort of drag it across like a big pipe.
Yeah.
So, and then there's just quite a lot of falling over. So yeah, we're linking up that section now. So the PDU is now connected to that manufacturing thing, which makes parts, and then now connecting the PDU.
It looks more like some sort of oil refinery than a moon base.
And connecting the PDU to the refining station.
Mind the exploding wheel.
And so that's the first bit. So now rename it to Moonbase because obviously, and turn some bits on and
things inflate.
Expand the inflatable logistics modules which store things in. And
start the inflatotron.
So that's good. And then go back to the tug, disconnected from that framework.
So we're just leaving that bit there.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there for now.
Yeah. I hadn't actually realised you had like little 4 drop pods on each one of them there, so that's quite cunning, really.
Yeah, and
you got like basically a transport system.
Yes, and it's as I said, the stuff from Freight Transportation Technologies is designed specifically for carrying MKS modules around, so that's why it fits so well because it was built for the task. So, autopiloting back into orbit. I'm trying the launch to rendezvous thing, but I don't think it works in the circumstances that we're in because the base is not under the orbital path of the thing we're trying to rendezvous with. So I think it just goes, I can't do that. And it just launches to an ordinary orbit. But it's okay because we have a rendezvous autopilot as well.
Buttons for everything.
Yes. Saves me having to think about things, which is hard. So anyway, so that's just we take off and I just engage the rendezvous autopilot and it just goes and does it.
Press the big button, round it goes.
So first thing it does is gets the orbit lined up properly. Because
that's a lot of time warp.
Yep, because you got to go like partway around the surface of the moon so you can get to the node where you can match the orbits again.
Yeah.
Because they intersect, but they're not parallel. And now they are. So this just sets up some phasing orbits, goes around a few times. It's more or less the same sort of thing as I had to do manually, but it's much more accurate.
Okay.
Because I was just kind of going, press buttons, how's that working? Right
press buttons more.
Whereas this is just very, very precisely planning. So, yeah.
There's a little galaxy in the corner there.
Yep. And round we go again, and you can see we're getting close because the docking alignment indicator's popped up.
Yep.
And there's a nice shot of Kerbal on the left.
Yeah, it's quite nice, that little blue halo around it.
And then now the autopilot is just going to take us to within 100 meters of the target. Because that's how close I told it to get.
Ah, right. That's quite handy.
Yeah. Again, because I'm kind of going now, so I've managed to get within 3 kilometers, so now I'll just fly towards it and hope. The autopilot manages to get very, very close, which is good.
Drifting.
Yeah.
It's not that far away, though.
No, and again, we're just kind of waiting for the autopilot to finish doing its thing, and then I will take over again.
Yeah, it's nearly there. Closing pretty quickly, really.
Yeah. And then the autopilot fires to match velocities again, and it's done.
That'll do.
I will start setting up for the docking. I'll find the right docking port. It does oddly, actually no, it has a bit of an issue because those docking ports are technically occupied, so it shouldn't really be offering them as targets, but because there isn't another docking port attached to them, I think that's probably why.
Nah.
But anyway, so first of all getting the smart ass to line us up
I still like that name. That was genius.
Yeah, that's to line us up parallel to where we want to be.
Yeah, chug along.
And then I'll just bring us past, because we're actually at the wrong end of the ship at the moment. But again, there you go, it's like sun, curbing, ships.
Yep. So we've got 12 modules to take downstairs then.
There's 10, and there's 2 reserve fuel tanks as well.
Ah, right.
And the fuel tanks are set up to just pump automatically into the tug as soon as it docks.
Right.
So they're right at the back, but the tug will get refilled every time we dock. Some slight issues with this RCS balancer thing, which worked fine when I initially docked the tug with the lifter, but now seems to not work properly when I turn it on.
Yeah.
Don't really know why.
Still drifting across okay.
Yeah, and eventually I think I just wind up turning it off again. Yeah. Yeah, that's another quite a nice shot with Kerbal in the background there as well, which at the time I didn't notice because I was concentrating intently on docking the 2 ships together.
Yeah.
But that's quite nice there. Just sort of hanging there.
Closely.
Oh, closing in, closing in.
Quite fast.
It is again sped up a bit, but it does kind of buoying off, and the magnetic couplers don't quite detach on the first 3 attempts. But there we are. Linked.
A little bit of pogoing.
Yeah, but now it's linked.
A bit of bouncing between friends.
And turn that off. The fuel's pumped forward, and we move on and attach the middle tier.
Next one.
And do the same thing again. Similar sort of idea. I grab the same target, but I choose a slightly different offset now because I don't really want to land it on top of the one that I already put there, because that would be kind of rubbish. So same distance east, but 2 minutes north of where it was previously, so that the stuff that we landed first kind of winds up in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, boing.
We're going there.
So yeah, it's just, again, they're just in the orbit, so it goes over the landing site. Whee! There's the landing site. Yeah, it seems to, going back to what you were saying before, I mean, when we landed the very light craft on the moon, it seemed to, at least it appeared to me, to do a slightly different sort of deceleration thing. It was like burning gently quite a lot of the way, whereas with this heavier payload, it seems to be much more suicide burn inclined, and I don't know whether that's just because of how much mass there is compared to the thrust available, or what.
Yeah. So what's in this lot then?
Oh, now I have to remember what's in this lot. What went down second? Habitation, agriculture, fabrication, and another thing.
So you've got a 3D printer in there or something?
Something like that, yeah. What was the 4th thing? Damn it. I know this. Hang on. I have a note of this somewhere.
We'll find out in a moment anyway.
Oh, the biolab. That's what
Biolab,
biolab, yeah.
For creating our clone minions.
That's a good idea, actually. We would no longer be so worried about losing crew. So, oh well, we've got another one in storage.
Yep. Cloned.
We'll just pull it out.
What's your name? 6. What is that?
Yes.
Well, don't ask about 1 to 5.
Yes. Bob 6. That's an odd name. Yeah. That's what I thought as well, but they assured me it was perfectly fine.
In the nice indoctrination program I grew up with.
Yeah. It was weird, there were a lot of other people called Bob there, and they all had different surnames, which were all numbers. It was very odd. Right, so here we are, parking.
That's pretty good.
2
Pretty
minutes to
close.
the north of of that moon mining site and the existing base section.
Coming down nicely.
Coming down nicely, and then the thing about what actually happened here is I think I sort of changed my mind on where things were going to go, so I made things difficult for myself by having to drive all the way around the base that's already there.
Ah.
But anyway, so I'm just like turning on the refinery and stuff. Because there's enough machinery in this base. You don't know if you can see that there's a graph for the machinery required in the thing, and it's half full in the refinery.
Oh yeah.
So there's enough machinery in this base to run one module at a time, and you can move it around.
So you're like throwing spanners across or something.
Yeah. So I was like just throwing cogs and spanners and pistons from one module to another so we can operate them. Because eventually, because this is the refinery, so now it's refining stuff that's being drilled by the miner, which is a little way away, which you can see it's kind of in there. And eventually you can refine stuff and then you can put the machinery into the fabrication plant, and that will make parts, and then you can put the machinery into the machinery plant, and then you can make machinery with it. And then you can have some more machinery, and you can run more modules at once, and eventually you get all the machinery that you need, and the base actually is operational. We're not going to watch all of that happening, because it's going to take really, really long time. But
That'll probably be a little tedious.
Yes, but that's the principle.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And I don't know if you just saw that. Whoa, nearly lost it. So it was just at the end there, the refinery was running because the other logistics module was filling up with refined material, chemicals, and metal, whatever.
Things,
so,
thingies and things.
I don't quite remember.
That's pretty close.
Whoa.
No, it's not, whoa. Stability wasn't a consideration when these things were built. Honestly.
Not really. I'm driving this around, going, oh God, why? Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, so that's that part. Now, our friend who was hanging around waiting for stuff to happen.
He's just been sat there going, I spy.
Yep,
it's another moon rock.
Yes. Something beginning with R. Is it rock? Yes.
Worse still, he has to play it with himself.
Yes. So even though the only thing he can possibly guess is rock, there isn't even the chance of a mystery, because it's only with himself. Is it rock again, me? Yes, me it is. Well done. I mean, he's got friends sitting in the. He's got a friend in the command module there as well. But he's just no. I'm not playing I Spy with you. This is stupid. I have these blinking lights to look at. It's always rock. Can't you think of something else? Right. So that one's linked up. I think that's the machinery plant. Yes,
That's looking pretty cool.
So now we've got.
What's the inflato thing on the top there for?
It's another storage thing, because like the one on top of the refineries for raw minerals, the one on top of the fabrication thing is for refined stuff,
Right.
and the one on top of the machinery plant is for parts that come out of the fabrication plant.
It's like some kind of beautiful cycle.
It is, and this is the biolab, I think, which has
For all the clones.
stuff related to bio things in it. I think it's got stuff.
I can tell that you're a fully qualified bioscientist.
I did know what all this stuff did. I think this one's got storage for like compost and waste and other things.
Whoa!
But I just decided to park that at this end of the base rather than drive it all the way around. Yeah, that's got storage for wastewater and carbon dioxide and other things that you need to reprocess. And so I'm getting a Kerbal out of the miner now, because we also need to man the base, so we've got some spare Kerbals over in the mining station now that that's being run by a probe. So we can move them across and they can operate the base instead. It also gives them slightly more room.
Hey, no exploding wheels.
No. Not yet, anyway. There's another. Oh, there we go. There's an exploding wheel. So the bases also have like a variety of stuff in them, depending on what the masses of the stuff were. So you put all the equipment inside the ones which are lighter and try and balance everything up for transportation, which is what I did.
And get some poor sucker to shift it around afterwards.
Yep. It's like you need to run around all over this moon base and connect everything together. So okay, brilliant. Whoop.
Looks like you're doing some sort of rally around there, all the way round.
It's like got two wheels so many times. But you can't brake rapidly, otherwise the thing falls over, which is why it takes so long to come to a stop and change direction. And so I'm just like now moving in rather more carefully.
Not designed for rallying.
No, not really designed at all. It's like just me going, well, I've got this
I've got
thing,
a box, it needs
and
wheels.
I need to move it around, so I'll just jam some wheels on the bottom of it and hope for the best.
That's how science works.
Yep. Engineering. We need to move this. Put some wheels on. Okay, brilliant. The wheels may explode to an extent, but it's probably fine. Right, and now we're dropping off the last module here, which I think is agriculture.
Imagine if you're buying a tyre for your car and there's a bit of sign saying, caution may explode.
Tyres may explode if removed.
Please seek professional help.
That's
They
right.
may explode a bit less
May
then.
explode if removed, so you can't go, well, the car's got a flat tyre and I do have a spare, but I'm somewhat reluctant to take the wheel off.
Because you don't know if it's going to go
Because,
boom.
you know, right now, all what I have is just a car with a flat tyre, but what I may have, if I take the wheel off, is a pile of flaming wreckage. They are remarkably explosive, given that they are just like wheels.
Yeah. Maybe it's all the gas exploding. Yep.
Yes, that must be it.
Yeah.
So now now we've pulled the wheels off and the wheels have all exploded. Again, linking the base up. And again, this took a really long time, but it's actually also just quite satisfying having it sort of shaping up. And then we disconnect the tug from the cargo again and launch it back into orbit for the third and final time.
Yep, one more lot to get.
And the pilots in the tug seem happy with the situation, although actually Rodrigue now looks a bit scared.
Hooray, we've escaped from the exploding wheels.
It's like,
Oh, it was a bit close there for a moment, Marv. Yeah, well, yes.
so I don't know what was going on there. We just have dropped. If we'd known all of this stuff was so explosive, I would never have agreed to tow it here all the way from Kerbal.
Yeah, I didn't have that on the flight checklist.
Yeah.
Don't touch the wheels.
Potentially explosive wheels. There was. It took me a while to get this finished, and there isn't any footage of it because it wasn't particularly exciting footage. It was just very, very frustrating because a bug came up whereby when I tried to dock this craft with the lifter, every piece of the lifter that it touched would just explode.
Oh.
Which makes docking with it quite difficult when the docking port just vaporizes as soon as you touch it.
Yeah, that's not. It's got infected by the wheels.
So yeah, it's kind of they edge in like it's very, very slowly, 0.5 meter per second, and just touch, and then pop, the docking port vanishes, and then because there's momentum, the tug keeps going backwards and touches the next piece of the ship, which goes pop and disappears, and then eventually.
So you basically go through a swathe of destruction.
So it's like the tug very, very slowly drifts through the payload, destroying it as it goes. And it's like, that's not supposed to happen. Something's gone a bit wrong there.
Look, people design these parts.
Yeah.
Like, yep, reliable, robust. Nah.
Yeah, well, that's
No, just move the lever over. It's be cheaper a bit.
well, as someone said,
it's like exploding.
there was a comment
That's fine.
on one of our previous videos on the I think it was on the Museum of Failure, talking about how all parts in the space program are mandatorily made of 30% explodium.
Explodium.
So, I've changed up things a little bit for this piece of footage as well. You can see the ship now because I've made an adjustment. There's a plugin called Ambient Light Adjustment, which lets you actually add a little bit of ambient light even when it's completely dark. So now, because now you can actually see this ship, even though it's on the dark side of the moon. So that's quite good.
Very handy. You don't have to carry it in lots of blinky lights.
Yes.
Send up a curb in there with loads of glow sticks. What's your job? Stick them to the ship.
That's right. And the autopilot actually does bring us just directly to 100 meters away and then stop. Not even any maneuvering at the end, which is pretty awesome. And there's no way there was no way I could have done that. It's like, no. So again, on with the smart arse.
It does look like it's held together by string, really.
Yes. And another example of that bug that I encountered, which I still have some film for and will probably use later on. At one point I was lifting off, still carrying the framework, and then ditching it in mid-takeoff so that it would just explode somewhere randomly further away from the base.
Yeah.
But when I disconnected the docking ports, the ship's, like, all the engines stopped firing, and I was confused for a while, and then I saw, because it was all quite dark as well, and then I just saw everything very, very slowly drifting apart. No one part of the tug was connected to any other part of the tug anymore. So I was like, oops, that's gone a bit wrong too.
Yeah, bit of a design flaw there.
Should have probably put more glue there.
Yeah.
It's like if you're putting a model kit together, and he's like, well, I've finished the kit, but there's an entire tub of glue that I didn't seem to use. It's probably fine. Only it was a spaceship.
Yeah.
So, because the thing just brought us into within 100 metres, this particular rendezvous was quite quick. And just go bonk, bounce off. Go back together again, bonk, docked, hey.
Clink.
And once again, the tug is full. And once again, landing. And this time, we go 2 minutes to the south and 2 minutes to the east of the original mining site. Just to line it up, and so we should be able to drop these last two modules onto the south end. And these modules are the science lab and the workshop. Is it workshop? Workshop or spare parts facility? The repair shop, that's what it's called. And the science lab is for, you can recycle depleted uranium out of your PDU.
Not the pets. No pets recycling.
No. Not in this particular science lab, anyway.
Yeah.
And the repair shop makes spare parts. Because things need spare parts.
Yep.
But yeah, another uneventful descent. I mean, and you can kind of, well, it's now pretty uneventful, but it would just have been frustrating for me personally to get it right.
Yeah.
And there will be many, many other opportunities.
So I can see the little red dots on the blue block, the blue dial below as well. That's quite cool, indicating what below us.
Oh yeah, the pink indicator showing where the target is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the little blue ball.
Yes.
That's quite cool.
Nav ball.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Nav ball.
But there will be many, many opportunities for me to screw up and blow things up. So fear not. For anyone who's here for the hilarious explosions, there will be many more of those, I'm sure. But this will be more or less the last section of Moonbase as we drop in for the final descent. We can see all of the other bits of the base and Kerbal
hopefully not hit any of it.
Kerbal Kerman, who's just hanging out and waiting so he can link everything up.
He's watching his thing come down and go, that's coming down so quickly.
Lads.
Brakes.
And they're all going, it's fine. It's all fine. I just pressed this button and apparently everything will be okay.
Nothing exploded, even the wheels.
Well, yes, but we haven't taken them off yet, so there's still time.
No. They're just waiting.
They're sitting there going, soon, soon.
Boom.
Right, so that's...
Probably quite lucky they don't explode when you drop the vehicle.
Yeah, that would make things much more difficult, certainly.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So the science...
Popping off some wheelies there.
Science lab getting a bit squirrely there.
Oh, dear me.
You
haven't really got steering on this very much, have you?
There is steering, but again, it's so top heavy that if you steer while going too fast, it'll fall over sideways. So,
Which is what happened there, I guess.
So it's kind of
nearly.
I just have to be so very, very careful, and it's funny to watch, but it was just terrifying to do. So anyway, here's Curly. Got to yank the wheels off this.
Okay, please don't explode. Please don't explode.
Like, boom.
Boom. Boom. Whoa, that was a big one.
Right, and now the repair shop. Whoop. Terrifying. Because it was all in much slower as well, so you see the thing going over very slowly and you have to mash down on the other direction and hope that it doesn't fall and that you catch it in time and that you don't overcorrect. But we're parked. So we inflate the...
Parked and we've turned into a mushroom.
Inflate the parts module for it.
Yeah.
And start putting the last flexo tube connectors on. Right, and just take these wheels off. Wheels. Wheels. Just waiting on you.
Yeah.
There it is. Well, you know, I wouldn't want to disappoint you, so there you go.
Yeah, one more flexo tube and we're done then, I guess.
Yeah, there's actually two, because that bit over there we haven't connected up yet as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I kind of get carried away with it as well. Just keep flying back and forth. Open, grab.
All over the place.
Fly again. Whee!
Whee! You know, he's just flying over the debris of all the
There's
wheels.
just wreckage everywhere. It's like, it'll be fine.
Explodium.
Don't worry. There's another wheel randomly exploding there. Nothing to worry about.
He just decided, I'm bored. What do I do?
So,
Go
hang
on, all the other wheels are goading it on.
So
Go on, explode, you know you want to.
Steve exploded. It was great. And I'm going, right, I need to connect up. Oh, wait, hang on. I've connected all the bits up.
Nothing.
I've connected all the bits up already. There aren't any more bits to connect.
Yeah.
I was getting
I mean, you
carried
could add
away.
some extra connections, but you don't need to.
We do have some, but it does mean we have some spare flexo tubes. Should we bring any more base components in?
Handy.
So he's going to jump. Oh, he's going to jump up there and climb into the lab. And now, the last
That's
thing
our glorious
to do,
base.
Well, not yet.
Huh?
It is, but the last thing to do is to send the tug back into a parking orbit because we don't need it here anymore.
No.
So we'll just crank up the autopilot and send it on its way to standard orbit. Go! Sterling work done there by the tug, overcoming the design flaws that I made. So well done.
Yep.
At least I didn't make the mistake of not putting enough thrusters on it, like I did with that tanker. It's like four times as much engine power and probably less than half the mass. So.
It's basically a big pile of engines.
Well, yes, but which is kind of what you want from a tug. You want
Yeah.
a small vehicle which is relatively ridiculously overpowered.
Yeah.
So, tug takes off.
That's pretty good.
And
49998. Pretty close.
Yep. So that's the tug in orbit. Now we're going to move the crew across from the miner because they don't need to be in there anymore, and we're going to crew up the base, which is looking pretty good.
Yeah. Look what we've got for you.
Look at this.
And we guarantee you there's nothing left that explodes.
We've been stuck in that tiny command pod for days. This is brilliant.
I hear there's a disco.
But he's actually first going to attach and inflate the habitation module.
Ah.
And he's going to go over to the aeroponics and fall over
He's going to crash.
facility and attach the greenhouse module and then get stuck under it.
That's quite good.
So that's a greenhouse module.
It looks like basically they've gone to the moon and they're growing vast amounts of dubious legal things.
Yep. That is our moon base. There aren't enough inflatable modules on it. I don't think. I think it needs probably one more hab module and one more greenhouse module for 6 Kerbals, which is the number of crew we currently have. But there we are. Moon base. All the lights are on now. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It's all fairly lined up as well.
Yeah, considering it was just me driving around, trying not to fall over, and then going, okay, that'll do. Not bad.
Yep.
And there's the little miner in the background there as well, sitting there doing its job. So I'm quite pleased with
Feeling a bit jealous.
how that turned out.
Yeah.
All in all, there's a lot of effort, a lot of faffing about, but now we have a moon base, and eventually, once we've built all the machinery it needs, it'll be a functional moon base.
Yeah, so the moment is purely for visitors and PR.
Yes, so we can send pictures back going, check out our moon base, and all the Kerbals on the moon base are desperately shuttling machinery back and forth, trying to get everything to work.
Does it work? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Look, it's the machinery.
So, look, they're going to want film from all of the modules, so you'll just have to pause it, and then move all the machinery across, and then get it going in the new one, and then film there. So just do that about 6 times.
Yeah, you can have one module working at once.
Yep. So here you can see our refinery refining. Ooh, over here fabricating things. Ooh, so, ooh, yes, that's very, very impressive. Yes, yes, it is. So,
yeah,
that's our
glorious
moon base.
victory.
And what we'll have to do is there are some things we want to add to it. We're gonna, as I said, we probably want to put another greenhouse and another habitation dome on it.
Yeah.
But after that, we need to decide what else to do. Because we've put a base on the moon now, so what's our next step?
Isn't there like another planet nearby? I mean, is that going to be a fun step? We can visit another planet.
Yes, we have a launch window for Juna coming up, but it's we've kind of done everything in a fairly short space of time, so it's still 100 days away.
Yeah.
So we can do that. We can try some different things. There's something I'd quite like to investigate, which is building ships in space.
Okay.
So we can get a space dock up. There's a mod for that called extraplanetary launch pads.
Are there any asteroids or comets around?
There are probably some asteroids around. We could possibly look at trying to grab an asteroid and bring it into orbit as well. I'll have a look and see if there are any knocking about.
That'd be good.
So,
yeah. Tug an asteroid.
So yeah, we've been concentrating on this for a while. So now we're going to have to decide what to do. And currently we don't know. So
Answers on a postcard.
So if you want to be surprised, tune in next time and find out. And with that, I think that's it. I think we're done.
Yeah,
So,
the astronauts have finished panicking, so we must be
yes,
finished.
they all look quite happy now. So,
Yeah.
hurrah, moon base.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Tune in next time to find out what we eventually decide to do.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye.